Hi, my name is Brandy Reed, and I am going to teach on respect in the classroom, and the grade level I have chosen is third grade. So let's go ahead and work through each one of these slides that I have here. So I started with the standard, and Washington State has the kindergarten through 12 emotional learning standard benchmarks available. And I selected standards 2 for self-management, and I have 2A and 2B. The first one is demonstrating the skills to manage and express one's emotion, thoughts, impulses, stress in a constructive way. And number 2 is number 2B is demonstrate constructive decision-making and problem-solving skills. Within those standards, we're going to take a look at getting to know your student, learning about differences and similarities, building on the strengths and weaknesses, role modeling, and providing opportunity to practice new skills. Again, I chose the third grade level, and within that, I chose a few different methods and activities that you could use within your classroom. And the first one in the middle here is a worksheet that has a scenario. And so Felix is very angry because someone called him a name. Try to decide which of these thoughts would be helpful to calming Felix down so that he can make a positive choice. Color in helpful thoughts green and unhelpful thoughts red. In the school district that I work for, we use the red and green choices as an activity and practice to teach expectations and in behaviors, and what are good choices and what are bad choices. And even at preschool level, we teach them and then have them practice, and kids will, they'll even say, they're not, that's a red choice, you're not supposed to do that, or what I just did was a green choice. I made a good decision. So they are already putting them into categories, which is what we want them to do. We want them to start learning. We just don't want to assume that students will know right from wrong, or what a healthy decision is, or what a harmful choices. So when we're looking at teaching respect, there is some practical things we can do in our material and curriculum. Those are things that I do in preschool. Obviously, this worksheet can be done at a higher level where they're reading. Conversations and role playing, of course, is a good way to teach these standards, done through small group and teacher-led groups. Writing assignments gives them a way to practice writing skills, but also reflect on feelings, and it also cannot have a potential of giving the teacher some insight of what's going on with the student. So with a student who's trying to articulate what they may be feeling, or through some reflective thoughts and writing about what might be an issue for them or not. Books and videos are helpful, and so we can use those within our classroom, especially at the third grade level. So when I'm thinking of how to teach teachers about teaching respect in their classroom, or teaching respect in my classroom, it's kind of a hard thing because there's so many dynamics that, there's so many pieces to it, and making sure you can teach right from wrong and good choices and bad choices. But teaching how to treat people, that takes some practice, and that there's a lot to that. And so when I think about what I've learned in the 7 years of teaching preschool, is that preschoolers don't come in knowing how to share. They don't stand in line next to each other well, or sit close to each other. They take things out of each other's hands. So one of the practices that I found successful is that we build a community, and that takes all school year. But you can really see what it looks like from the beginning to the end, where if a student is missing from the classroom, they're looking for that child. They know that they're missing. They want to know what's going on. They have concerns if they're, if they're hospitalized. The class is like, we need to make cards. We need to check on them. Whereas before, when they first get to classroom, it's all, they're little, they're 3, 4, and 5, and everything's mine and give me, and they're, they're in struggles all the time. At the end of the school year, the work of building a community, getting to know the children, getting to know their households, getting to know them, and then helping them develop that this is their classroom, their responsibility. They're responsible for their other students, and sharing and caring, all of those things that is built into what we do. And so then that's when you see respect, and this change happen where they care about other people. And so that said, I was like, okay, so how do we put this into place where they're older, in a 3rd grade classroom? And then I came across a video, and I'm going to play it for you, of a teacher who displays that in her classroom. She seems to do it well. So I'm going to take a look at that, and then we're going to look at how that helps to teach respect overall. Bear with me as I switch screens here. Okay, so here is the video, and it's inside of an article. So I'm just going to go ahead and just play the video, and then get your feedback. Or just, this is a Zoom recorded, so it's hard to get feedback, but that was the purpose of getting feedback, to look at it from this angle and how it plays into teaching respect in your classroom.
The first word is achieve. Everybody say after me, achieve. 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 Never do I want a child to sit in a class and just to think that whatever is happening is meaningless. Very good. So reflection means to think about what you did right, what you did wrong, and what did you learn out of it. Alright, so we are going to reflect on our dreams. You remember we started the day by writing our dreams? Can all of you just close your eyes for 1 minute? And just remember what we did in the morning. Whether it's becoming a dancer, a singer, a doctor, an engineer, coming to school should help you to fulfill those dreams. Can you please share your dream and how coming to school is going to help you to achieve that dream?
Class, I want to become a singer and I am coming to school.
I did have a vision for my classroom, but when I came to my class with my vision, I wanted each and every child to have their own vision for themselves, and we integrated the vision. So it was never me imposing a vision on them. I told them this is what I feel should be there. You let me know what you feel. We are coming into the class to learn from each other. I'm teaching you things, you teach me. It's like a two-way process, and never are we going to force anything on each other. Let's give her a bubble clap. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Should we do this? Should we do this? What should we do? The last one. So quickly just revise, take 2 minutes to discuss in your teams. I did not give them the vision for their teams. I said every team has their own flavor. So you tell me what are going to be the rules, what are going to be the values for your team, and that's how you're going to behave. So they knew that first they had to cater to themselves, but as soon as their work was done, they had to be sensitive towards the people around them and like take everybody together.
Using sunlight and water. Teamwork is most important because in teamwork, if we are together, we can do anything.
I try to express that what you bring to the table is going to be very different from what other people bring to the table. And together you just have so many ideas that you can just bring together to create a lot of magic. Team leaders, you will explain the process of germination and we will write these steps down in our notebooks. Okay? Every team has a team leader and the team leader behaves like a teacher.
And inside the seed, it can grow because it is bad.
So whenever a new concept is being taught, the team leader has to discuss with every member in the team what is being taught. So like after I do my role as a teacher, it's every team leader playing their role as a teacher. And after that, every pair in the class acts like a teacher. So they need to teach each other what is being taught.
If somebody cannot speak their answers, I will push them to try. If you will try, then you can do it and answer the question.
It really made them realize that they bring different flavors to the table and they can learn from each other. That strength and unity is something I really hope always remains. That it's not just about you, it's not just about your work, it's about your buddy, it's about your team, it's about your class. So never come to me telling me, Didi, my work is done. Is your buddy's work done? Is your team's work done? Because it's really all of you together who will end up doing something in life.
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, grow, banana.
It is very important to think beyond the classroom. Every team had to go in their communities and just go around, walk around and see something that bothers you. Come to class and discuss why did it bother me, what is wrong in that, and then try to find solutions.
First, we all discuss the problem, we discuss why it happens. Then we discuss if that problem is there, what will happen. Then we do teamwork and find out the solution.
So if it is a problem in your community, what can you do as children? Use the knowledge that you've gained in classroom. Use your convincing skills, and that's what they did. They failed a lot of times. They were like, Didi, we are not able to find solutions. People don't listen to us. We try to convince them. They're being rude to us. But that's okay. You need to keep trying. It's a process which is going to take time, and you have to fail a lot of times before you actually succeed. And after 10 failures, a small success used to make them so happy and so thrilled that they did not mind failing after that. So if right now we are able to see how the knowledge gained in the classroom is helping the child to make changes in the environment outside classroom, it will actually give us an idea of how, when the child actually finishes his or her education and goes into the real world, how is the child going to be there.
So I need to become a good person who help poor people to do their works, because I am thinking that if I am the poor people, how will I feel?
I really hope that they always remember the power in unity. I really hope that even 10 years, 15 years down the line, that passion in them never dies away. How they can use their energy for their passion to just impact the community around, and how to take everybody together with them in achieving their goals.
Okay. Okay, so unity is a big piece of teaching respect. So let's go back to the
Antes, wow, es que
let's go back to sharing, go back to the PowerPoint. Okay, so that was the sorry. So creating unity is a big part, is what I was saying, and what we got from the video. And so so when I think of so we have the materials that we use that I went over with the worksheets and the activities, but then community projects was a big part of hers as well, within the older, especially the older kids, getting them involved, helping them work through things, developing relationships and how to work together. All of these, I mean, you can do this within the classroom, school, community, and home. One example I do have that comes to mind about how I did it in preschool before COVID, where I was having parent volunteers come in, that actually kind of touched on each one of these categories. Was we were doing a just planting seed activity with the preschool at the end, towards the end of the year. And I had one of my students, her dad is a farmer. And so what I asked her father if he would come in through a translator, because I don't speak Spanish, but he's a Spanish speaking, he speaks Spanish only. But I, through a translator, asked if he would come in and help us use his expert knowledge on growing, a garden or plants and different things, if he would come in and help us with our little project that we're going to do. And he was reluctant. He didn't feel comfortable, but he also knew it was important to his daughter, and he came in anyway. So we put out, I even told him, I go, you don't have to do anything. Let me do everything. You just be there with your daughter and, jump in and do, participate however you would like. So we read in our little our book about planting, and then we got busy on our project. Well, of course, he sees that I am not, this is not what I do. And so he automatically kind of jumps in. And so we have he's speaking Spanish, and we have translators in the room who are helping with the communication, but it's just interesting because there was the communication, it's not a deficiency, but we're trying to like communicate back and forth through, and some of us know what we're saying and some of us don't, but it's working, right? And we're getting to work together even with these complications within the language. And the kids are experiencing this. And so everything is great. The child is delighted that their dad's there, and he's like jumping in and he's just helping the kids, and the kids are thriving, they love it. And so we get our project done, and that is what I thought. Well, then come back the following year, and I start getting all these messages and pictures of these tomato plants that the kids had grown, had taken their project home, planted it with their family. They had tomatoes all summer long. They were making salsa and salads and just eating tomatoes. And then with the abundance that they had gotten, they were sharing with neighbors and friends and telling everybody about their project. Lots of stuff was happening here that I didn't even think would happen, but the unity, you can see how a community project can just do there's all kinds of layers in that. So with that, you just be creative and use those. And again, you're exposing them to different situations, different types of communication, interacting with people, and all of that teaches respect and and you practice it, right? You practice and work through difficulties rather than just be afraid of a situation. You embrace it and then teach through it. Okay, so, and then of course I had a breakout session to go along with this, just taking all of that information that we saw in the video, the materials that were just ideas that were actually hands-on with the red and green scenario of just teaching what are good choices and what are bad choices, the different types of, whether it's in small group or large group, all of those. Now that we've kind of broadened what teaching respect looks like, the breakout session would be discuss different ways to build unity and teach respect in the classroom using those new ideas, or the ideas that we were talking about. And then let's review the goals that we started with our standard: to teach students how to manage and express emotions in constructive ways. Yes, and the way we talk, what we discussed would bring about exposure and help practice different ways of communicating, and give students many opportunities to practice problem solving skills within their classroom community. Of course, all those ideas as well will give them lots of opportunities to problem solve and within their classroom community. And with that, that is my presentation on teaching respect.